Now it's time for your 420 Radio News for Tuesday, March 19th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. Oregon lawmakers consider legalizing and taxing marijuana as pot advocates ponder 2014 ballot initiative. It's from OregonLive.com. State lawmakers scrounging for money for schools, mental health, and public safety could find the solution to their funding woes to be green. Not more cold, hard cash, but pot. Legalize it and tax it. That's the plan under House Bill 3371, which is scheduled for an April 2nd public hearing in the House Judiciary Committee. The bill would allow the production, processing, and sale of marijuana and marijuana-infused products. Individuals 21 or older would be allowed to keep 6 mature marijuana plants and 24 ounces of marijuana at a time, the same amounts allowed under the Oregon Medical Marijuana Act. Under the bill, the Oregon Health Authority would be charged with licensing marijuana producers, processors, wholesalers, and retailers. The Oregon Liquor Control Commission would oversee taxation of marijuana, according to the bill. Marijuana producers would be taxed at $35 per ounce. The money would go to a cannabis tax account, with 40% of proceeds going to schools and 20% each to Oregon State Police, the General Fund, and Services for Mental Health, Alcoholism, and Drugs. The bill would go into effect July 1st, 2014. Measure would decriminalize marijuana in Nevada. This from the Reno Gazette-Journal. Nevadans would be able to buy marijuana for recreational use under a bill introduced in the Nevada Assembly that also seeks to tax pot to fund education. The bill sets up a framework for marijuana to be grown and sold with a 25% excise tax charged at both the wholesale and retail level. Money raised from the tax would go to the state distributed school account that funds K-12 education. The measure would make it legal for people 21 and older to possess up to 1 ounce of marijuana for private consumption. Boxer Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.'s marijuana use is safer than alcohol, this according to a billboard placed by the Marijuana Policy Project. Boxer Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. got a $900,000 fine and 9-month suspension for testing positive for marijuana, and this is the subject of a new billboard unveiled in Las Vegas today, reports Smell the Truth at SanFranciscoGate.com. According to the National Legalization Lobby Marijuana Policy Project, the billboard decries the Nevada State Athletic Commission's punishment of Chavez Jr. for using pot, as Chavez prepares to file a lawsuit challenging the huge fine. The nation's largest marijuana policy organization paid for the advertisement and calls on NSAC to drop the penalties and stop driving athletes to drink. New York Police Department spent 1 million hours making 440,000 marijuana possession arrests over the last decade. This from Huffington Post. The New York Police Department spent 1 million hours making 440,000 arrests for low-level marijuana possession charges between 2002 and 2012, according to a new report released Tuesday, just as legislative leaders in Albany are deciding whether to pass a bill reforming drug laws. The Drug Policy Alliance and the Marijuana Arrest Research Project, pro-drug law reform groups that commissioned the report, said its findings show a huge waste of police resources. The drug reform proposal from Governor Andrew Cuomo would decriminalize small amounts of marijuana in public view. Possessing 25 grams or less of marijuana kept out of sight is currently a violation, subject to a $100 penalty in New York State. In 2012, according to the report, the NYPD made 39,218 low-level possession arrests. The report assumed police spent an average of 2.5 man-hours on such arrests, amounting to 98,045 hours in 2012. Maryland Senate okays fine for small amounts of marijuana from CBS Baltimore. The Maryland Senate has voted to eliminate potential jail time for people who possess less than 10 grams of marijuana. The Senate voted 30-16 on Tuesday for the measure, which would fine people $100 in civil court if they possess the equivalent of about 2 joints or less. Supporters say the measure will save the state money by relieving the strain such crimes put on the criminal justice system. Opponents worry that decriminalization could increase drug use among youth. Marijuana training program approved in Colorado from the Denver Post. A marijuana proposal aimed at training people who work in medical marijuana businesses awaits the governor's pen in Colorado. This would create a responsible medical marijuana vendor designation. The optional designation would allow pot shops to train employees in state marijuana regulation and how to spot fake marijuana cards. In exchange, businesses could get a break if they run afoul of state regulations. And that's your 420 Radio News for Tuesday, March 19th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. When we come back, we're going to go behind the headlines and take a look at New Jersey signing a law on banning synthetic cannabinoids. This is the Russ Belville Show on 420radio.org. We'll be right back after this.